Today is a very auspicious day, Disappearance Day of one of prominent disciples of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhānta Saraswatī Gosvami Ṭhākur, Srila Bhakti Srirup, Puri Gosvami Maharaj. His disappearance day today. First, I will say something about his father. I will not read everything, but it is related. So his father was born in one Vaishnava family, but that was not like pure Vaishnavism. So gradually he did not like that kind of Vaishnavism, and he first joined that Brahmo Dharma, but after he's from that village of Amla Jora. When he met in that same village, he met Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur and Jagannath Das Babaji. It is in both biographies. You will find that Amla Jora, there was some festival there, and also Ekadashi, whole night they were chanting, and in the morning Nagar Sankirtan, and that ecstatical symptoms of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj spread to everyone. So he met them both. Then he again became attracted to Vaishnavism, Gauriya Vaishnavism, now when he saw the pure form. So then he started to read books of Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur, and then one day in a dream he got a transcendental vision of the transcendental glory of Srivas Angan in Mayapur, courtyard of Srivas. So he then went to Mayapur. That was after many years of committed, yes, after he met Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur, then he was doing bhajan at home. Then he went to no, not that. Then he got the dream. Then he went to Mayapur and he went to Srivas Angan, but he was disappointed to see how it is not taken care of. But his transcendental vision was he got that demigods also are coming there to that kirtan. It is still going on. So he decided to develop that place, because that was also the order in his dream. Then, yes, then in another dream he heard, write on Gaur Lila, contemplate Gaur Lila, and glorify and propagate Gaur Lila. Then the desire in your heart will be fulfilled. So he then left household life and went to stay at Srivas Angan, and there he started to beg for donations. He also met Srila Bhakti Siddhānta Saraswatī Gosvami Ṭhākur, and also he was doing bhajan at Jogapit. Yes, Srila Saraswatī Ṭhākur gave him name Bhakti Vilas Ṭhākur. So he wrote innumerable hortatory letters to everyone he knew, urging them to contribute for this cause, to develop Srivas Angan and also to excavate Gaur Kunda at Jogapit, and to re-establish Navadip Dham Parikrama. So by his persistence, eventually sufficient funds were raised for construction of a simple thatched roof temple at Srivas Angan. And the temple was opened on the Jagannath Das Babaji already before. He said that in Srivas Angan, Panchatattva Deities must be installed. He also revealed that place. So that temple opened in 1913. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur gave him order that he should serve these deities, Panchatattva deities, and he was doing this until he left body in 1927. He also took Kshetra Sannyas. He never left Shriva's Angan after that. And by beseeching pilgrims for donations, he gradually developed a small complex of buildings and gardens there. Then also Gaur Kunda was excavated and Navadip Dham Parikrama revived during the time of Prabhupada. During the final portion of his life, Shripad Bhaktivilas Thakur wrote several books that, although not highly scholarly, conveyed Vaishnava teachings with simplicity and conviction. Some of those volumes were edited by Srila Saraswatī Ṭhākur or stalwart disciples and published by the Gauriya Math. Both of Shripad Bhaktivilas Thakur's sons and the eldest of his 3 daughters were initiated by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatī Ṭhākur. So this is his father. Now we will hear about Srila Bhakti Srirup, because by his father's desire, he took the boys to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatī Thakur to be initiated by him. Srirup, Puri Maharaj. As the younger son of Shri Bhaktivilas Thakur, Shri Harilal Ghosh had been inducted into Shuddha Bhakti from the beginning of life. This is he will become. Like his father, he was rigidly austere and immersed in the writings of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Even from his childhood, it was clear to all that Harilal possessed saintly qualities. After Shri Bhaktivilas Thakur left home to reside at Shriva's Angan, he sent Harilal devotional books and instructive letters urging him to fully accept the path of Shuddha Bhakti. Accordingly, Harilal took initiation from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatī, being given the name Hridoy Chaitanya Das Adhikari. His family guru soon arrived at Hridoy Chaitanya Prabhu's cottage and cursed him, because that was already before done, that family guru. Our Gurudev also had one family guru, Kula Guru. They only come to take money, no spiritual action there. So when he heard that he accepted Guru, his family guru cursed him. But Hridoy Chaitanya cared nothing, considering such a spiritually insipid person as impotent, and was confident of protection from his genuine guru. On that very day, a son of his family guru contracted cholera and soon died. So reaction was there. Hridoy Chaitanya Prabhu made his home like a mat, with a daily program of spiritual functions and preaching activities. By his influence, many persons in that area took to Shuddha Bhakti and became disciples of Srila Saraswatī Thakur. In 1923, 33 years after Srila Jagannath Das Babaji and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had placed their lotus feet in Hridoy Chaitanya Prabhu's home village of Amlajora, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatī also visited, in reciprocation with the devotional spirit of Hridoy Chaitanya Prabhu and his compatriot god siblings, god brothers. So this same village. The delighted inhabitants, including some disciples of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, gave Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatī a welcome befitting an acharya. He spent 2 days there in Hridoy Chaitanya's home, during which he calculated this disciple's horoscope and revealed that he would be a sincere devotee of Krishna. Because Prabhupada was expert, excellent, topmost astrologer. He wrote books also before, so he But he also showed if his calculation was different from what Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur had in mind, and although he said, although my calculation is correct, but he always followed what Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur said to do. That is ultimate guidance from pure devotee. So he calculated his horoscope and said he will become a sincere devotee of Krishna. As a village doctor, content with whatever remuneration his patients offered, Hridaya Chaitanya had scanty means, so to receive his Guru Maharaja's party means little money. To receive his Guru Maharaja's party, he took a considerable loan and fed them opulently. After meals, he jubilantly honored a morsel of remnant from each senior god brother's plate. During this visit of Gauriya Math devotees, Amla Jora was again suffused with the spirit of Shuddha Bhakti, and hence it was proposed that a mat be established at Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu's residence. Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu took permission from his Guru Maharaj to make a temple on a parcel of land in front of his house, wherein he planned to install deities of Śrī Śrī Guru Gaurango Gandharvika Giridhari, with the idea to gradually train his 4-year-old son, Gaur Das, and eventually entrust the service to him, to the son. A few days after obtaining consent from Srila Bhakti Siddhānta Saraswatī, he arranged for a deity of Mahāprabhu to be fashioned from neem tree. Yet within a month of the deity's arriving, one evening Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj arrived without notice and forcibly took the deity to Calcutta. He's one senior disciple of Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj. He took the deity. Just prior to this, Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu had written to his Guru Maharaj, admitting a strong attachment to his son and proposing to take his family to live at Shriva's Angan. Shortly thereafter, he received the reply, "It is impossible to properly serve Hari while attached to a mortal son." Who is whose son? This question. Who is whose son? That is all false. We see like that, but no one is no one's son. All are jivas, they're all coming from Krishna. Those relations, material relations, are temporary, illusory. Like the dead boy of Chitraketu, Narad revived him and he said, "Why you are leaving your parents?" Then he said, "Which parents? I had many parents." So these are all non-eternal, temporary, in that sense, illusory relations. So he asked him, who is whose son? There are innumerable Gaurdasas everywhere on earth, attempting to live in the Dham while simultaneously cultivating affection for your son and other relatives will simply disturb others and obstruct your own bhajan. These emphatic words of the Acharya threw Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu's mind into turmoil, which precipitated his cutting family ties forever and joining the mission full-time. So you see, it is not good to associate with realized souls, because they will cut. Our Gurudev also, he said to Parang Gurudev, that I do meditation, but then I think now God will come, then I will have to leave all these relations. So you please tell me what I should do, that I will not stop meditating, I will go further. Then Parang Gurudev gave that history of that swans and geese or ducks, And ultimately, Parangurudev said that is why one has to associate with realized soul, because their words will cut through those knots of attachment to this world, because of which we are unable to go to Supreme Lord. So here a practical example. Few sentences, but there is realization behind. Who is whose son? And in Dham, you cannot do bhajan, you will only disturb others, because in Dham everyone is engaged in the service of Krishna, and you will also not be able to. So, who is whose son? Then this cut his that family ties and joining the mission full time. It was 1924 and he was about 31 years old. He was fully determined to give up all attachment to, contact with, identification with, and even thought of his previous family and village home. But on the entreaties of devotees in Amlajora and the order of his Gurudev, 3 years later he re-established the Prapanna ashram at the very site on which it had previously been founded by Srila Jagannath Das Babaji and Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākur. Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu added a temple for the worship of Mahaprabhu. The same deity taken by Srimad Bharati Maharaj and again returned to him, and also Śrī Śrī Radha Binod Kishore. It seems like Mahaprabhu wanted to give this teaching also. You cannot worship me having such attachment to your sons. So Mahaprabhu left. But now when his all attachment were cut, then again Mahaprabhu came there, and also in the form of Radha Krishna. In September 1928, Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu was invested into sannyas and named Tridandi Swami Srimad Bhakti Srirup Puri Maharaj. He was one of the 18 sannyasis directly from Prabhupada. His resolve to forswear all contact with his former family endured to the extent that when he was petitioned to sign documents and fulfill other requisites for his daughter's marriage, he flatly refused. Eventually, Srila Bhakti Siddhānta Saraswatī ceded to the pleas of Srirup, Puri's cousin brother, and told this most stalwart sannyasi that there would be no transgression in complying with the arrangement, for he himself had approved it. Means if Guru orders, then there is no problem. Like on Ekadashi, if Guru orders to take rice, if you take rice, no problem. But of course, he must be bona fide Guru, because he is in connection with Krishna. So there is some purpose behind why they give such order. Like here, he said, I am giving you order, you sign those papers. Nothing you will do wrong. And when relatives of Srirup Puri Gosvami rushed to Mayapur upon getting news of his imminent demise, he refused to see them. Only after much pressing from other devotees did he receive his family for a few moments, yet he hardly spoke to them and did not even glance at his former wife. Renowned for his strictness and frankness throughout his wide travels and preaching, Srirup Puri Goswami Maharaj never cared to entertain the public with flowery words meant to elicit donations or praise. Means with this purpose, you are speaking to please them so that you can get name and fame or donations. So he did not do this. Why? Because he is established in the service of Krishna. That is what is our need, not these things. He lived by the principle that rigid adherence to the tenets of Shuddha Bhakti must precede its propagation. First practice, then preach. This is the point. First you become established in pure devotion, then you inspire others. But only preaching, not practicing, that is only for some name and fame. And had firm faith that all auspiciousness would come by simply adhering to and repeating the words heard from his Guru. Irrespective of time, place, or circumstance, he would immediately and strongly rebuke any statement contrary to Shastra or Siddhānta. Even in 1934, he was called to speak in the court of the Maharaja of Badagara, Orissa, means king. He stuck to his principle and did not mince words. Change means, I don't know, but I guess not change to please him. But he spoke what is Guru Vani, what is Shastra Vani, what is Siddhānta. This attitude was noted and appreciated by Srila Saraswatī Ṭhākur. Yet, Srirup Puri Goswami's general behavior was so simple and guileless that all who came in contact with him, whether sinful or pious, became charmed. Not caring for food, shelter, or material possessions, and sleeping little, he constantly performed kirtan. He maintained a vow to not eat or take even a drop of water before chanting 1 lakh of names, 64 ounces first, then eating, and 1 lakh 64 ounces. Disregarding the advice of God brothers that according to the principle of Yukta Vairagya, such rigorism was unnecessary. They told him no need to, but this was his vow. Even when his body was broken by age and racked by multiple diseases, he uncomplainingly accepted his condition as Krishna's mercy. This is how pure devotees they see. Tatenu kampam susamikshama. It is by the mercy of Krishna. Nothing can happen without his will. So what is happening? It is by his desire, and he's all good. So why I will complain? That is his mercy. We may say, but in practical, realized soul only can actually do like that and see. So he accepted his condition as Krishna's mercy and strove to increase rather than curtail his devotional practices. Because already he is established on transcendental platform. He knows what is my necessity. So he increased his devotional practices. Śrīmad, we cannot imitate this. We may ruin our bhajan if we try to imitate such things. We have to accept what is favorable on our stage. But he was already in that stage, on transcendental platform. Śrīmad Srirup Puri Goswami also wrote for the Gauriya, that is magazine, including a series of touching articles with titles such as Amar Desh Brahman Kam, My Wanderlust, and Amar Durdeva, My Misfortune, in which he examined various anarthas by discussing his own position, declaring himself possessed of each, like our Parangurudev wrote, Amar Bhajan, to teach by example about all these anarthas. For some time he was Mat Rakshak, means Mat in charge or temple president at Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mat. But temple president does not mean only one who is doing some management of some building like this. Mat Rakshak, Mat in charge, in Gauriya Mat means he is local acharya. He has to take care of everything in the mat. For all the service of Krishna, all functions, everything. He is the first servitor. Not only manager, but he has to do. And if no one is available, then he has to do everything. Kirtan, cooking, deity worship, everything. It's the most responsible service, like local acharya. By his own example, at Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mat, the Gauriya Mat branch in Sri Vrindavan. There he was Mat in charge. After many years of intense Hari Seva, diseased and aware of his imminent disappearance from this plane, on his Guru Maharaj's order, Srirup Puri Maharaj took refuge of Srivas Angan, the place of his father's bhajan and final abode. He lay on his bed, fasting and listening as devotees recited the entire Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. He remained in clear consciousness, absorbed in hearing until the entire book was read and devotees had begun to recite Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, at which point he departed this world. See what kind of departure. It was 1st November 1936. Just 2 months before his own Gurudev passed away, in Srila Prabhupada. Srila Saraswatī Ṭhākur confirmed what all who knew Srimad Puri Goswami Maharaj intuitively understood. He was a Jivan Mukta, means liberated soul while living in this world, in this body. Means pure devotee, realized soul. All God brothers they knew, and others who knew him, and here Srila Saraswatī Ṭhākur confirmed, yes, he was a liberated soul. Srimad Bhakti Srirup Puri Goswami Maharaja's Samadhi at Srivas Angan in Mayapur adjoins that of his father. Father also left his body there, Samadhi is there. His son also Samadhi there. So I am remembering Srivas Angan, that is really not ordinary place. So many pastimes Mahaprabhu did there, he is doing still now. We are not able to see. Now it is more developed. Panchatattva deities are there. You all visited in Mayapur. So there is his Samadhi. I am bowing down to Srila Maharaj and also his father Srila Bhaktivilas Ṭhākur, and praying for their causeless mercy. So you see what kind of disciples Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswatī Ṭhākur had. So many pure devotees, realized souls. And we are hearing Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary to Śikṣāṣṭakam verse number 2. Yesterday we heard about 10 kinds of offenses to the name, which have to be given up if one wants to chant pure name, and by chanting pure name one can get all those results which were mentioned, and Krishna Prem. Further, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, those who are devoted to Nam Japa do not have to try to avoid pap, means sin, and accumulate the punya or pious activities which accompanies karma, because those who possess Shraddha, faith in Krishna, lack the eligibility to engage in karma. those who have Shraddha in Krishna, they are eligible to do devotion. They should not do karma. That is not for them. That is why you will find in Srirupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita, we will hear Niyamakama. Atyahara Prasacha Prajalpa Niyama Agraha, yes, not Niyamakama. I thought something is wrong. Niyama Agraha. So you should not fail to observe rules, or you should not be too fanatic about the rules without knowing the purpose. Two interpretations are there, so as we will heard in commentary. If one is eligible for devotion, then he has to do devotional practices, not like Karmakant Shrad or Karmakant Ekadashi or some pious activities like this. No. Or avoiding sin according to Karmakant regulations. No. They have to follow the rules and regulations of Bhakti. Should not mix like everything there. However, if they commit nama parat, then distress should arise within them in order to destroy those aparadas. If they take to chanting the name incessantly, then along with the distress they feel in making such offenses, like our Gurudev told, extreme regret, their hearts will naturally become free from aparat. If you feel extreme regret and also taking shelter of the name and chanting incessantly, then those offenses will be removed. Their hearts will naturally become free from aparat. There is a statement in the Shastra, this is also from Padma Puran, just after narrating about the 10 offenses to the holy name which we heard above. This verse is coming. Nam aparada juktanam namani eva harantyagham avishranti prayuktani tani evarta karani cha. For those who have committed nama parat, then to remove that offenses, constant engagement in chanting is certainly the way to accomplish that. Nama parada juktana namani eva harantyagham means you have to take shelter of the name, our Gurudev told, and to regret, and avishranti means without stopping, no rest. Avishranti vyuktani tani evarta karanicha. Constantly chanting, then that will remove all offenses. When nama parat is absent, attraction for Harinam arises, then one achieves all perfection. This has been recommended. So we cannot expect to have real attraction or real taste for Harinam as long as offenses are present. Or if we are not having liking to chant, it proves the presence of offenses. Like in 7th verse of Upadeshamrita, Rupa Goswami said, although Harinam is very sweet, but we are not tasting that sweetness because of this disease. But there is only one way to remove that disease. With firm faith, we have to take Harinam as a medicine. My god brother, he told, you should not think whether you like to chant Harinam or not, you are inspired or not. You have to, based on faith, that it is beneficial, and also as a duty, because you are eternal servant of Krishna, you should chant. You should not be guided by your taste or this. No, you should be guided by this. Faith that it is beneficial like medicine, and it is our duty to serve Krishna. So based on that, you have to chant. Not based on, oh, I feel like chanting, so I will chant. I like, oh, okay, I will chant, but when I'm not feeling like that, then I will not. No, that is not, should not be like that. This is the end of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary to second verse. Now I will start Srila Bhakti Siddhānta Saraswatī Gosvami Thakur's commentary to second verse. Again, the translation of the verse is, O Bhagavan, you have manifested your many names, invested all your energy in them, and made no rules regarding the time for remembering them. Such is your great mercy. My misfortune, however, is such that I have not developed any attachment to them. Commentary. O Bhagavan, bestowing your causeless mercy, you have revealed your many names. You have invested in those names all the Shakti of whom they name, means all your own Shakti. And you have not imposed any regulations regarding the time for remembering these divine names. That is, you have not created any inconveniences to remember your names while eating, lying down, or sleeping, or at any other time. My great misfortune, however, is that I have not developed any attachment, anuraga, to your divine names. So our Gurudev told there is no time, place, all this. In toilet also you can chant Harinam, but not with Japamala, because it is made of Tulsi, so you should not bring Japamala to toilet, but without Japamala you can chant, or you should chant, because always we have to chant when doing everything. Fixed number on Japamala, yesterday we heard, some time should be given. How much is our fixed number? That time should be only for Harinam, to practice chanting with surrender and with attention. At least we should practice attentiveness again and again. This is the practice. We should not do other things when having Japamala. I heard, I did not see, but I heard some even they eat while in right hand Japamala, and with left hand they are eating. So what is this? It is not proper. It is offensive. And you should keep your Japamala always in sacred, means some pure place, higher than you are sitting or lying down, with respect. That is not ordinary thing. And people putting different things inside Japamala, like keys, money, mobile phone, everything impure. They are touching all things everywhere, and then they are putting inside the Japamala. It's very painful to see this. The Japamala is not like some counter tools, and if you lose it, you just go and buy a new one from the shop. No, that is not like that. Japamala is sacred thing. It was worshipped, and the Gurudev chanted on their Japamala. Out of causeless mercy, he gave you this so that you can have strength in your chanting. So we should be very careful not to lose, and also very careful to keep clean there, and also keep it in clean place. And before chanting, we have to wash our hand, because we touch so many things. Before chanting, you have to wash your hand. Then you chant. And further, Prabhupada says, many names refers to Bhagavan's primary and secondary names. As the embodiment of Madhurja, Bhagavan is known as Krishna, Radharaman, and Gopijana Vallabha. And as the embodiment of Aishwarya, Bhagavan is known as Vasudev, Ram, and Nrishinga, and by other primary names. Here Ram means Ramachandra, or can mean Parashuram also. But Radharaman Ram, that is in the category of Madhurja. Names such as Brahma, means Brahman, and Paramatma, which refer to separate, partial, or incomplete appearances of Bhagavan, are his secondary names. Bhagavan's primary names are not different from whom they name, means Bhagavan himself, and all of Bhagavan's Shakti is invested in them. Various Shaktis of Bhagavan are also present partially in his secondary names, like Brahma, Paramatma, we heard, and Shrashta, Mahendra, Niyanta, partially potency there. The Jiva's misfortune has occurred because of Jiva being averse to the Lord and bound in the transitory environment of Maya. Aversion to service is itself misfortune. Trivial desirousness means anya bilashita, karma, and gyan. The Jiva's plight has occurred along these three paths of enjoyment and as a result of forgetfulness of true self. Controlled by trivial desirousness, the Jiva becomes mad to attain worldly pleasures. By the influence of Sat Karma, that is bona fide karma prescribed by the Vedas, the Jiva becomes a seeker of temporary pleasures of Svarga, heavenly planets, and so forth. And by the desire to renounce enjoyment, that is by Gyan, the Jiva engages in inquiry into undifferentiated Brahman. So these are all other desires. Desire to serve Krishna is the eternal purpose or dharma of the Jiva's true self. As a result of this being covered over by the rubbish of the three aforementioned paths, the Jiva's good fortune diminishes. Consequently, like our Gurudev gave that example, there is magnet and iron. It is nature of magnet to attract iron, and it is nature of iron to be attracted to magnet. But sometimes we see the magnet is not attracting, iron is not attracted. Then we may think that it is not correct. It is not truth that magnet attracts and iron. No. The problem is there is rust on the iron. That is why that nature is not manifest, because of rust. So like that, when Jiva is covered, Jiva Srirup is covered by, due to misuse of his relative imbalance, covered by these other desires, Anya Vilas, Karma, Gyan, Yoga, all these things, we don't see that eternal nature. But when it is removed, that rust is removed, or this aversion to Krishna is removed by the company of pure devotees, then eternal nature of Jiva will manifest. It is not created. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem, Sadhya Kamunoi. It is also not gotten. But it is sleeping, or it is covered, dormant, covered, or blocked, but by Sadhu Sangha and Shravan Kirtan in Sadhu Sangha, that will manifest in the heart. That is eternal welfare of the Jiva. What is eternal welfare of Jiva? What is Shreya? What is auspiciousness? White lily, which is awakened or blossomed by the rays of Shri Krishna Sankirtan, like moonlight. We heard Shreya Koirva Chandrika Vitaranam. Moonlight opens that white lotus in the night. Like that, Nama Sankirtan will open that auspiciousness for you. What is that? That is devotion. Devotion is Shreya for Jiva, auspicious. After Chetodarpana Marjanam, and then Bhava Mahadavana liberation, then devotion is awakened by Nama Sankirtan. Like moon opens lotus, Nama Sankirtan opens this auspiciousness or fortune or Shreya or eternal welfare, which is devotion to Krishna. Consequently, being sometimes engaged in the pursuit of dharma, artha and kama, and sometimes suppressed by adharma, anarthas, and unfulfilled desires, the Jiva invites the 10 offenses to the holy name, and then by going to serve the name, makes offense. At that time, the chanting of the name which the Jiva performs is not chanting of the pure name. It is rather offense to the name, nam aparat. So when we have these desires for dharma, artha, kama, then we are committing offenses to the name. When the Jiva is not motivated by thirst for enjoyment, but remains indifferent to Sambandha Gyan, means understanding of their relationship with Bhagavan, that we are eternal servant of him, we are indifferent to this, and chants the name for their own benefit with the aim of overcoming their own distress and attaining peace, then only a semblance or a bhas of service to the name occurs. At that time, the Jiva does not chant the name, pure name. The Jiva chants only a semblance of the name, nama bhas. As a result of nama bhas, the Jiva attains liberation from mundane consciousness and ultimately eligibility to serve Hari. Our Gurudev, when he was in Slovenia, first time in 1998, in Bogensberg Castle, the program was there. One person at the end asked Gurudev about this Nama Aparat, Nama Bhas and pure name. Then Gurudev explained in this way. When you have other material desires and chanting name, that is Nama Aparat. When you neither desire this nor desire to serve Krishna, because there is no relation with Krishna, that name will be Nama Bhas. You can get liberation if there are no offenses. But pure name means when you are established in your relationship with Krishna as his eternal servant, and you are chanting exclusively for his satisfaction, that is pure name. So just one sentence I will read. Free from all misfortune, The highest souls attain pure Krishna Prema by chanting the pure name. Tomorrow we will read further from here.